Welcome back to the last lecture of week 9, module 9 of our marketing course, The Art and Science of Marketing from Basics to Breakthrough. Why I keep on saying our? Because I assume you and me learning the marketing simultaneously. We are creating this ecosystem of learning. So I, Dr. Asutosh Mohan, Associate Professor at Institute of Management Studies, Banaras Hindu University, would like to start the last lecture, that is lecture 5, with a big title, Channel Conflicts and Resolution, very crucial element, and strategies with emerging trends. That we will talk about e-commerce, D2C model and certain omni-channel experiences. So let's start the session with the session objective. What is our session objective? We try to define the channel conflict and identify its type. What are the different conflicts or what are the possible conflicts across the different channels? We try to understand the reasons behind conflict and we try to evaluate the resolution strategies of those conflicts. So let's start with a real world case study, the case of Sugar Cosmetics. Sugar Cosmetics began as an online first D2C brand. They expanded into different retail outlets, shoppers stop, their own store, maybe store inside the store. They faced pushback from the retail partner due to undercut pricing on website. They faced actually because online the products were available little cheaper than offline mode. Then what they did? They introduced a retail exclusive SKU and pricing parity to maintain the channel harmony. It means they worked beautifully to remove this channel conflict and gave a clear indication that every channel need to present simultaneously. So learning rapid expansion must be supported by clear channel coordination. And that is what we need to understand in this session. What are the different possibilities of conflict and how can we resolve those particular conflicts amicably? So what is channel conflict? Channel conflict occurs whenever channel members compete against each other and disrupt the alignment or disrupt the flows in the channel. Maybe they are not working in tandem with the requirement of the organization. So what might be the types of channel conflict? It may be a vertical where producer versus retailers are fighting. It may be horizontal when two distributors are fighting. It may be a multi-channel when D2C versus retail versus online. There are different clash of interest. That's also possible. All these kind of conflicts may present in any of the distribution channel. So what are the emerging trends that are triggering these conflict? So e-commerce pricing war, that is one of the crucial element. Direct to consumer disruptions, eliminating the possibility of different margins and passing those benefit of margin to consumer. Omni-channel customer expectation becoming more and more high, how to meet that expectation, real time algorithm and flash sales, and unclear roles and right. That is again very crucial. Nowadays you are finding when companies are going for omni-channel route to serve the market and still they are not able to define the roles and responsibility of each channel precisely. And if you are not able to define the roles and responsibility of each channel precisely, you are not making a route map to synchronize the efforts, then possibly the differences will be visible to the consumer and they may not have the experience which they are wishing to have with your omni-channel presence. This is again a point of conflict. So how will you resolve the conflict? As an manufacturer, As a marketer, if your channels are having certain kind of conflict or clash, definitely it will jeopardize your functioning. So you may go for exclusive territories or SKUs. You may say, okay, that's what we understood in the case of Sugar Cosmetic. They introduced a retail specific SKU, which was or which is not available on online store. So develop certain SKU which are exclusive to that particular channel, so that you can segregate and say, okay, this is available here, this is available here. If you wish to go for this, go for here. If you wish to go for this, go there. That's possible. You may have tiered incentive and commissions, where you are providing with certain performance the certain incentive and making this incentive to reach at different levels, and distribution channel member have to have work to achieve that. You need to be transparent in your communication and co-branding. Otherwise, if you are not transparent, if you are not frank, then it may lead to a situation where the clashes are possible. The examples: Samsung offering early product access online but with service credit in offline store. What does it mean? They are providing early access through online, means they are launching the product first on the online store, but if you wish to go for any service, they need to go for to offline store. So it's a synchronization effort between online and offline. Raymond offering exclusive design in flagship store. They have different kind of stores. Certain store a kind of franchisee, certain store a flagship store recognized as the best performer in this locality, in the city. So those flagship stores are having certain exclusivity, certain exclusive design, that is to identify the performance, to recognize the performance. Now some real world cases. Let's take the case of a successful brand in optics, that is Lenskart in opticals. D2C eyewear brand with physical store and app having presence in both. They introduce the loyalty benefit which is not redeemable offline to boost their footfall. They are offering the loyalty benefit, but you cannot redeem that loyalty benefit online. You have to go to the store of Lenskart to do the same. And if you visit to a store, you will physically witness, have a touch and feel of the different product of Lenskart. How beautifully they integrated this omni-channel presence. So you are purchasing certain element online, having certain, you keep on purchasing, having certain loyalty rewards. To in cash, to redeem those rewards, you need to go to the retail store. Just see the beauty. Avoided online offline transfer through clear inventory management, very clear handling of inventory to make this offline and online pricing move in tandem. Next example, ITC stores. Now ITC store, they started its own D2C portal to reach remote customer. They ensured same day delivery and introduced bundled SKU not available offline. So bundling of different offers on retail outlet, you may have different items displayed on the shelf or different items available even in your mom and pop store. But if you bundle it and making a promotional effort which is available only on online route, it's not available on offline. So if you are asking the retailer, club this item and tell me what's the price, what's the bundle price, they might not offer. But you can do this clubbing on online mode. They did the clubbing on online mode, and accordingly whosoever is price sensitive, they can go for online. Whosoever want to variety, they can go for offline. A strategy help to avoid disruption for their existing distribution. That's what they beautifully weaved, where online presence is not going to disturb their offline presence. Another example, how to manage omni-channel models. That's what happening. this omni-channel model talks about centralized inventory and unified CRM. What does it mean? It means your inventory, whether it's available in retail outlet, whether it's available in some other warehouse or any other retail outlet, or even on online mode, it must be visible to all channel partner in the same manner. As at the same time, they need to have unified CRM strategy. What does it mean? If a person is entering into a retail outlet or going to online outlet or any retail outlet in and around the city or outside the city within a country, the customer need to be recognized in the same way, a unique ID, and accordingly you can recognize, okay sir, you purchased this item 3 months back in city X, now you are looking for this item in city Y, you also search this item on this. This kind of CRM is required. Similarly, consistent communication across the platform. That's what possible with you are having a unified CRM, unified inventory, where you are communicating, sir, these items are available. If you wish to go for touch and feel, go to retail outlet. If you want to have convenience at your fingertip, you can log into our website or log into our app and just order the same. Some new arrivals, some new customized arrival or personalized arrivals are present at our kitty. Seamless return and exchange. This is again very crucial element. So if you are purchasing online, want to return offline on a retail, or you are doing something vice versa, it need to be integrated where they are recognizing you as a customer, they are not recognizing from what mode you actually purchase and want to return. And finally, the example where the Decathlon store pickup and online return model. You just pick up the material, then make a complaint, and accordingly they arrange to return the product and deliver the replacement. This is again possible. So in summary, channel conflict is natural but manageable, quite natural. It's possible. Even two individuals working together, the differences of opinion is quite natural. So different partners are working together in your distribution channel, differences are natural, but you have to have managed, and that can be manageable. Clarity in role, pricing and territory reduce the friction. More and more clarity in terms of your policy, more and more clarity in terms of communicating the policy, and just highlighting the uniqueness of each member in your distribution channel is one crucial thing to manage the differences. Emerging trends demand integrated technology and unified vision. That's what need to take help of technology, need to have a unified vision to see everyone equal. Don't try to segregate, don't try to categorize. This one is better, this one is wrong, this one is inferior, this one is superior. Just try to have that we have to work and plug the gaps wherever it present. We need to present one single image of our brand so that to have a value proposition in the mind of consumer. And that's what the entire designing, managing of value network or channel we discussed in this week 9 module 9, and we have to have apply these understanding whenever we find opportunity to apply or to work in a real possible manner, incorporate as a marketer. So post session assignment, just try to recall, have you ever seen different prices for the same brand across the platform? What do you think caused it? Just recall and try to find out. If you have further interest, read the BCG India report, D2C brand and modern retail, and it's a good one to give you an idea the requirement of modern retailing, and that too with direct to consumer models which many organizations are working with and many are still in fancy stage to develop the same. Thanks again for your trust, commitment, your time, energy, and remain attached with this course to have certain fruitful learnings. So happy learning and happy life. Enjoy the beauty of life. Thanks again.